It is. All right, I need to go in under the 2D mode, so I'm going to re-enter the space and come back 2D so I can plug the JSON in there. I need to go
I'm getting close.
under the 2D mode, so I'm going to re-enter the space and come back 2D so I can plug the JSON in there.
I'm getting close.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I brought in like well, the thing I found too is when I brought a video in last week, and for the past 4 days I've been fighting with it because it was flickering, and I didn't know what was causing it, and I actually whirled down to like one room, and I figured it was something about the anything. When you stand in the room, you didn't see anything or any problems. And I was messing around with the flight tool, and I flew really high. And when I looked down on it, I
Don't just
stopped.
get a CRM. Get Monday.com's flexible CRM solution. They can also manage.
The way the colliders actually yeah, I wanted to build it back in. I took apart all the colliders and I just added one collider at a time. And I haven't gotten them all back in, but no matter how many years, it's still crazy. Now yay!
So there we go. You guys can see it, right? Yeah. Can you hear the audio? Perfect. Here we go. You know? The person who built the world finally gave me a lesson on how to do it. But it's like 10 steps to do, 10 or 12 steps that do so many different things. This is a YouTube live broadcast. I create a YouTube live, and then I have to, I do OBS, I do a share screen. So whatever is on my screen is going to put on this thing. And then I copy, so I got the movie playing on YouTube on here.
They ought to make the day the time changes the first day of summer.
Yeah.
Well, it's 8 o'clock and it's still light.
Yep.
A lot of good the extra daylight does us. Now, we've still got a 3-hour drive back. We're not going to be home until after midnight.
Well, if it really bugged you, Johnny, you wouldn't do it.
I
Now, why
agree.
don't
I
have something
agree.
on a scene like
I
this?
agree.
You know, I figure
One
we're
step
even
at
going
a
to have
time.
to move Mother out here or move the grave into Pittsburgh.
She can't make a trip like this.
Well, but she can. Serena can.
No.
Look at this thing. We still remember. I don't. You know, I don't even remember what the man looks like.
Yeah,
It takes you 5
we should take a
Yeah,
picture
5
and
minutes to put the
we
wreath
should
on the
post
grave and
this
6
music
hours to put out before.
video.
Mother wants to remember, so we trot 200 miles into the country and she's
It's only
thinking,
taken 55 days, right?
Hey,
It's crazy.
We're coming back on the air
It's taken
after
this
an
long
interruption
to make
due
it
to
happen.
technical problems.
Yeah.
nothing wrong with the radio. Must have been the station.
They are. I mean, ultimately, I feel like we are part of a big beta test right now. I really do feel like this is all they're gathering up for. I mean, we've talked about it before. I think the biggest thing is like it's copyright, right? Like the thing that's great with this is it's fair use. Yeah, because of the age of it. It's 1968.
I wonder what happened to the one from last year. Each year we spend good money on these things. We come out here and the one from last year's gone.
Well, the flowers die. The caretaker or somebody takes them away.
Yeah, a little spit and polish can clean this up. Sell it next year. Wonder how many times we bought the same one. Hey, come on, Barb. Church was this morning, huh?
Well, I believe this guy who made the movie, this other filmmaker was telling me, he purposely made this thing fair use, like right away. He wanted people to. There's certain people that he made this. So I was thinking of doing something for Halloween with this thing, where because people can use this movie. We could come up with other characters. It's easy to do black and white. You could totally recreate yourself in black and white, and that's.
Do you remember one time when we were small, we were out here? It was from right over there. I jumped out at you from behind the tree, and Grandpa got all excited. He shook his fist at me, and he said, "Boys, you'll be damned to hell." Remember that? Right over there. Well, you used to really be scared.
Johnny,
Yeah.
You're still afraid.
stop it now. I mean it.
I think we could do that if we did a posting of like,
Stop
we
it.
got a world built, Screaming Night of the Living Dead as a Halloween theme, so come as a zombie. Like if we picked the right timing, like he was saying, timing is important. But I think if it was in like the afternoon, evening, early-ish hours here, to where maybe it's 10, 11 in Europe, but then it's only like 7 p.m. here, to where we're just getting like but I think some people might be interested to get partake in something like that. We just need to find a house that has the right, what do they call it? Things that you can move through it. Well, I was thinking, I've talked with the people of the space talking about doing a screening of this movie in Alt Space. You know, maybe for next weekend. You know, like the thing is okay, Day of the Dead is on Monday, and then we could do something for like the Halloween thing, and maybe people could be inspired to create some kind of short film shooting for that. Holiday weekend, since Halloween doesn't have that much going on, where some people might be like, yes, I'm down to.
And a Squarespace website where you can brag about how you never went to culinary school.
Gotta love it. We got some advertising. YouTube's getting their advertising in here. Gotta love it. We got some advertising. YouTube's getting their advertising in here.
Trust an amateur? That's what you get.
It's true. Yeah, I hit the skip commercial, so I skipped it as fast as we could skip it. Oh, it looks like maybe there's only like a 5-second delay. Yeah. But you know, it seems like some of these scenes could almost be recreated. It doesn't seem like it's too crazy of stuff being shot here. Yeah. Yeah. It's true. But yeah, maybe just even taking a couple minutes of it and giving like a different version of it, like an alternate universe version. How is the volume? Can you guys hear it pretty good? I did turn it down so I could hear us talk. I'm just trying to do a test. Let me turn it back up. Let's see. Is that better? Exactly. That's the exact thing with being fair use. I feel like you're using something that you can already. All we need to do is come up with a storyline that links the two together, right? Like something that. You know what you could maybe do? We could maybe what we toyed with before, doing a Zoom call, and on the Zoom, everybody was watching Night of the Living Dead on a Zoom, and then they become the characters if we're able to do that. Like whatever characters we become in alt space, and then it takes us there, right? That could be your crossing into like somebody even who's guiding the Zoom is like, yeah, I grew up from watching this movie, that was nice. It could take you to something like that. And we could actually watch it on Devil's Night as well, if we wanted to. Turn it down. Hackaway, welcome.
Right.
Don't worry about him. I can handle him. Probably be a lot more of them as soon as they find out about us.
The truck is out of gas.
This pump out here is locked. Is there a key? We can try to get out here if we can get some gas. Is there a key?
And the reason why we picked this is because if we're looking to really create some short films and some films that you could show at like even a film festival, you can put that out there. This has fair use. You're talking about all these new present day characters. The problem with it is there's no fair use. They'll block it. So I agree about the commercial appeal, but like part of what we're trying to toy with the ideas that we're filming movies here is to tap into the past of fair use and almost educating people on the past. Well, there we go, another commercial. How long did they go? 5 minutes without a commercial?
Every part is completely customizable.
There we go, another commercial. How long did they go? 5 minutes without a commercial? Well, that's the only way they make money. And you know, they have to make money.
We've got to get out of here. We have to get where there's some other people.
What's the only way they make money? Oh, 100%. They want you to get annoyed with commercials. I mean, I've done it with with Spotify and with Pandora. I purposely have paid for no commercials because there's nothing worse than that. Honestly, like if you're watching, yeah, it's true. Okay. Honestly, if this is fair use like this, it's probably not just on YouTube. We can probably find someone that doesn't have it with commercials. That's streaming online. Exactly. Exactly. Because everybody's going to have this. Because if it's fair use, you can just upload it, right? For the most part. Exactly. As much as we want to give more business to YouTube, they don't need it. I mean, let's face it, they're the giant in the scheme of things, and where content is going to go, you know, you got to think it's going to be interesting, especially with this world right here in the future. Well, I feel like ultimately, like, really, we are in. We're like you talked about, like, we're in beta testing. Everyone is testing. They are pulling data. They're seeing how long people are here for. They're seeing what people are doing when they're here. I mean, if you look at the thing that we consent for to getting in here, they're doing everything data-wise. I mean, they're trying to figure it out, and who knows what they're doing behind the curtain. Same thing with Facebook with Verizon and all that stuff. I mean, this is they know that this something's going on here. So I mean, I feel like even with the screens, you know, they're purposely putting it to where it's not easy because they don't necessarily want stuff playing here that then somebody's filming in here and they're dealing with copyright problems, you know, because exactly. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So we're in here now.
Well, that's why I feel like tapping into the past, Chris. Like, out of all the ideas we've come up with, like really recreating some worlds from like the 20s, 30s, 40s that people can go in, who can easily create a character that can be black and white, based on, you know, all of our garb, even how we look, and go in and kind of create movies like of the past, and even like he's a programmer, Stuart, to where it's like people can go in and interact with these movies even as well, you know. And I feel like that's our safest realm besides creating brand new original content with the world, which is cool. But I feel like there's a lot of stories out there, and how awesome is it to like go back like 100 years, even like just flowing in that 100-year marker of wow, this is 100 years old, seeing where we were at, what society was talking about, and kind of just teaching lessons to people on the past. Yes, I love that.
Get some more lights on in this house.
Yeah. You could totally have that. It could totally be a live experience like that. Yes. 100%.
I know you're afraid. I'm afraid too.
Yeah.
But we have to try to board the house up again. Now, I'm going to board up the windows and the doors. You understand? We'll be all right here. We'll be all right
Yeah.
if someone comes to rescue us.
100%. Well, I think like it's almost about starting back at the iconic characters like a Charlie Chaplin, right? To where like Charlie Chaplin could be like he's a you know, you can give him like a personality and people are like what, like, you know, just like because him with a voice, these people never had voices to where it's almost like uh, the Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin, like these there's these few people that really like that's the only thing he talked on. That's it. beer too. That's the only thing he talked on. That's it. You saying something, Stuart? I think he's frozen. He's frozen in time. We can go everywhere with this. I think it's about even going back to the Squall Man by the very first feature film movie. It's like I don't know, like how do you create it? Like could we almost create something to where like commentary people in this real world are talking about the movies of like the early 1900s, like Squall Man. This is the first feature film made, like almost filming like a commentary dialogue going on with it the entire time, and then we're like, let's go check out that barn, and then it's just like they walk through a portal and then they're able to go into that barn, to where it's like you got two different things. Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love it. You can watch something and then it's like, oh, let's go check that out. That's worth checking it out. It's almost be cool to just like watch it in the VR space and do like a whole commentary, and that's part of the movie. You don't need to necessarily show people the entire thing, but maybe a scaled down version of the actual most important stuff, and just kind of show that. Yo, Weed, what's up, man? Are you smoking right now? Awesome. I think it's impressive how it's made your hair green, man. I think that's pretty impressive. Do you have anything to say? Hold on one second. Oh no. Never mind. No, but these are great. Like Chris, the thing I like about the idea is that me and you both that when we're brainstorming ideas is I feel like we're coming up with very realistic stuff that we can do. That's one of the things that I do like with our conversations. Because in this world, I feel like people just get too far out there to where it's like that will be hard to create. But
Right across the road. Slammed on my brakes to keep from hitting it myself. Went right through the guardrail.
yeah.
I guess the driver must have cut off the road into that gas station by Beekman's Diner. Went right through the billboard, flipped over a gas pump, and never stopped moving. By now it's like a moving bonfire.
Oh my gosh. I love that. Oh my gosh. I love that.
This thing was just backing away from him. I looked back to the diner to see if there was anyone there who could help me. That's when I noticed that the entire place had been encircled. There wasn't a sign of life left except by now there were no more screens. I realized that
That's awesome.
I was alone.
That like I feel like there's an interest in that, right? But it's about now how do you create that experience that makes it interesting for somebody else, right? To where like you take them to that time, to that era. You're right. You're completely right. What makes it interesting?
Just stood there staring at me.
You're right. You're completely right. What makes it
Just
interesting?
wanted to crush them. They scattered through the air like bugs.
We were riding in the cemetery, Johnny and me. Johnny. We came to put a wreath on my father's grave. Johnny. And he said, "Can I have some candy, Barbara?" We didn't have any. And
Yeah. Oh yeah.
it's hot in here. Hot.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
and he said, "Oh, it's late. Why did we start so late?" And I said,
Yeah, I watched some awesome bios on him though. That guy was amazing.
"We wouldn't be late." Johnny asked me if I were
I
afraid.
watched some awesome bios on
And
him
I said,
though. That guy was
"I'm not afraid."
well, the thing that, like, with all of those things in the past, just with AI and the technology we have right now, I'm sure some of all those pictures were cataloged and all that stuff. And it's like, you know, what could you do with those things, those thousands of pictures that were all taken from to make these, like, clay animations possible, right? Where it's like,
I went up to this man, and I was going to apologize.
and it's just like, even as you're talking about it, like, is AI getting to the point to where like it could literally watch a movie like this, and it digitally could create these worlds to where like you could go into all of these different spaces. You know, it's like that's a question. They can translate voices. So how far away are they from translating, being able to create whatever you're able to see? Like almost the computer reads it and just boom.
And then Johnny came and he ran and he fought this man. And I got so
You know, how far away are we from that? I mean, that's a true question, right? Because if they can do that, now you're talking about everything that's been created. I mean, you can just kind of like a computer can create it, and you can just enter that world. And I mean, what's powerful with that is now you're talking about your old videos or anything that you film that exists in your life. You could almost go back into and experience if the world can recreate it in a digital form.
Please, don't you hear me? We've got to go out and get him. Please! We've got to go get him now! Please help me! Please!
I'm just giving an example of how far off are we from how far off is AI from being able to do that.
Because of the obvious threat to untold numbers of citizens, and because of the crisis which is even now developing, this radio station will remain on the air day and night. This station and hundreds of other radio and TV stations throughout this part of the country are pooling their resources.
Yeah, but the thing is with that, if you thinking about it from an AI standpoint, the AI is analyzing everything, what the voices are saying, what everybody's saying. So if you were to choose to go in here and experience it, depending on which character you wanted to play and interact with, like you're gonna say something and then this person's gonna say something else to where it's like, I guess that's where the mind gets blown of like, is there other directions you can go with stuff when you're experiencing? We're kind of like now, we were talking about very practical, but now we're kind of talking about well, what are the possibilities within this space, which I think is very interesting, but awesome.
Which is no longer a way for us to say who or what to look for and guard yourself against. Misshapen monsters. Reaction to law
Oh,
enforcement
very
officials
cool.
is one of complete bewilderment at this hour. So far, we have been unable to determine that any kind of organized investigation is yet underway. Police, sheriff's deputies, and emergency ambulances are literally dead to explore.
That's awesome though. He is like a legend of that time. You know, he's got a star. He's one of the few animators that have a star on the Walk of Fame. You know, for what he did. Like he, you know, people don't really realize the patience. I watched a bio on who he was and what he did, and really profound. All of his stuff groundbreaking. Of like, you know, to take somebody and just make them move like a little bit and just create that action and bring these things to life. Like, I think he would be mind blown if he's seen what we were doing right here. Like these people, like.
Make any attempt to get to their homes. However, in spite of this urging and warning, streets and highways are packed with frantic people trying to keep their families or apparently to flee just anywhere. Repeat, the safest course of action at this time is simply to stay where you belong.
Effects. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just received word that the president has called a meeting of his cabinet to deal with the sudden epidemic of murder which has seized the eastern third of this nation. The meeting is scheduled to convene within the hour. Members of the presidential cabinet will be joined by officials of the FBI and be told behind closed doors. The White House spokesman, in announcing this conference, says there will be an official announcement as soon as possible
Yeah.
following that meeting.
Amazing.
Latest dispatch
Amazing.
just received in
Just
America.
look at where we've come in.
National Press Services in
Like
Washington,
even
D.C.
100, like 120 years, going from like 1900, like film, like kind of pictures. I mean, if you think about that, look where we're at right now. You know, this is only 120 years.
You're listening have joined their facilities in an emergency network to bring you this news as it develops. We urge you to stay tuned to radio and
Thomas Edison. Yeah, but that's like but that was like pretty much done with still photos, right? So this is, well, that's, you know, that's the moving pictures, right? It's just taking a bunch of thousands of photos at a time.
which apparently is engulfing much of the nation.
Yeah. Truly amazing. And here we are, 2020. We are, you know, worlds apart. Yeah. Well, very cool. Too expensive. I love it. Well, that's where I feel like AI is coming in. Really, like, come on, like how we're talking, the things that it's able to do. I mean, you were obviously working around it at a time 30 years ago, and now you see where technology's at. It's probably like you're like, okay, now we can handle this kind of power.
Space is boarded up pretty solid now. We ought to be all right for a while. We have the guns, bullets, food, and radio. Sooner or later, someone's bound to come and get us, though. Hey, that's us. We're doing all right. Look, I don't know if you're hearing me, but I'm going upstairs now. If anything should try to break in here, I can hear it from up there, and I'll be down to take care of it. Everything is all right for now. I'll be back to reinforce the windows and doors later. But you'll be all right for now, okay?
Awesome.
Okay.
That's amazing. I love that. They're so smart to do that. I mean, I feel like everybody's going to be doing that though. That's really cool that they're doing that. Well, everything like Chris was talking about before. I don't know if he's talked to you about it, but they did the virtual reality ride. You could get in the car into like Oktoberfest. There's a virtual company that scanned Berlin, right, or Germany, part of Germany.
Civil defense authorities have told newsmen that murder victims show evidence of having been partially devoured by their murderers. Medical examination of victims' bodies shows conclusively that the killers are eating the flesh of the people they
Yeah.
killed. And so this incredible story becomes more ghastly with each report. It's difficult to
Oh,
imagine
it's
such a thing actually
1990s.
happening.
Yeah. Okay.
These are the reports we have been receiving and passing on to you. Reports which have been verified as completely as is possible in this confused situation. It is happening, and it would appear that no one is safe from this wave of mass murder.
Ah. Okay. That's cool.
A radio.
Pennsylvania Butler County Sheriff has verified by their slayers is true. Full further details available at midnight. Whether
All you guys get down there. I could use some help up here.
That's the cellar. It's the safest place.
You mean you didn't hear the racket we made, huh, Jerry?
How are we supposed to know what was going on? Could have been those things for all we knew.
That girl was screaming. Sure, you must know what a girl's screaming sounds like. Those things don't make any noise. Anybody would know somebody needed help.
Look, it's kind of hard to hear what's going on from down there. We thought we could hear screams, but for all we knew, that could have been those things were in the house afterwards.
And you wouldn't come up and help.
Well, if there were more, the racket sounded like the place was being ripped apart. How were we supposed to know what was going on?
Now, wait a minute. You just got finished saying you couldn't hear from down there.
Yeah, that's
Now
awesome.
it's time I explain.
But yeah, like what he's talking about, it just makes you go, how far away are we from these drones going and scanning everything that exists right now? And then it becomes digital. And then literally, we can go anywhere we want to go in the world once it's all digitized. I mean, that is like mind blowing.
Now I suggest we all go back downstairs before any of those things find out we're in here. You're insane. The cellar's the safest
100%.
place.
I'm telling you, they can't get in here.
And I'm telling you, those things turned over our car. We were dead
Yeah.
lucky to get away at all. Now you tell me
Yeah.
those things can't get through this
Amazing.
pile of wood.
You just
The wife and kids come and stay with us.
thank you, you guys. I gotta get back to my work day. but I love this. Chris, great to see you. Stuart, welcome back. We'll communicate and do this. I am gonna put the screening of this on there, and I don't know. I'd like to film something in here where I don't know what it is the next weekend for Halloween, doing something, but to be determined. Great to see you both. I will see you soon.